this is deja vu. I know I've seen this before.
Really?
Yeah. This is pure deja vu for me.
Cool.
Yeah. Great. All right, my friend, if I can get you to squeeze by here.
Do you want me to shut this door?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Need some station. Okay, here we go. Anytime?
Yeah.
Great. Adam, first, great talking to you, my friend. I mean, you and I have always been able to do interviews over the phone. This is the first time we've been able to do it in person. It's great because you're here in Toronto. You're putting on a show.
That's right. Tonight, first show in a while, so I'm excited.
Yeah, you know, when it comes to you and your music, I've always said that you're probably one of the unique artists that are out there. I mean, straight off the bat with Owl City, you got to explain to folks who don't really get it, because you, Adam Young, are really Owl City.
It's like an alias. It's like a secret, sneaky pseudonym. Just started to make this music in my basement a couple years ago, and knew that I wanted to call what I was doing this thing that makes people say, "How come?" and what's all, kind of what's behind it, rather than just my first name. So that's kind of why the name.
But the thing is, though, your music, again, very unique. Where did you go? How did you come up with that style of music?
Just sort of, it's kind of happened to me, honestly. I had done like the traditional 3 or 4 piece band, like rock band before in high school, and we could never really agree on anything, like so many bands I'm sure have the trouble with. So I started to do it all on my own, and by yourself, suddenly sequencing and programming and the whole thing just became this endless world. It's like you can go as deep as you want. So that's kind of why the genre, just this hybrid, cool, electronic thing, to me has been always so exciting. So.
Did you ever think Fireflies, the hit that a lot of people were introduced to you with, would explode the way it did a couple of years ago?
Never. I still can't believe it's done what it's done, and I remember writing it and putting it all together. And if people knew, the humble beginnings, my parents' basement is with a bunch of bugs down there. It's crazy, but I'm so grateful.
Well, you're back again because you've got a couple of projects going. Now, first, we know there's an album that's going to be coming out. We're going to talk about that in a second. But you did something a little different in March, though, with an EP.
Yeah, just trying to keep things coming out. I'm always working on something new. Whether it's on tour, in the bus, in the back lounge, on the laptop, or whatever. I'm always just working on something. So it's good to have this steady stream of stuff coming out. So EP a few months ago, and then new record coming out August 21st. And it's exciting just to be able to do this whole thing. For a shy kid from nowhere, I never thought I'd be able to do the one thing I've been passionate about. So I'm just trying to keep it going.
No, but I'm curious though, why release the EP when you have an album that's coming out very close? Just a matter of months. Usually you may release an EP and then maybe a year release an album. I mean, you just have so much music in you, and you figure, okay, I can't put it all on the album. Let me at least put it out on an EP.
It was partly that, partly kind of what I'm doing recently is a little bit different as far as aesthetic and genre than what I've been known for. So rather than to give the fans this brand new sounding music with zero explanation, I kind of wanted to say, here's from my heart, here's like where, kind of directionally where this thing is going. So you have some context, before you get the full record, and it's like, wow, it sounds different, and he never told us why or what's going through his head. So I wanted to put out the EP as kind of a tastemaker kind of thing.
And boy, did that ever work out. I mean, Twitter was abuzz with all this.
Can't believe it.
I mean, again, with new media and the way it is now, has it really helped your career musically? Because I know when this EP was out, like I said, everybody was buzzing about this.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if it wasn't for like social networking and just the online presence that I've been blessed to have, I don't think I'd be able to do, keep this thing going at all. Just because of the way I started, I always opted for the anonymous way out. I was never one to jump in the car and go promote this stuff physically in person because I'm not that kind of a guy. So the whole internet, online space has been really important to me.
Well, of course, we're talking about the album, The Midsummer Station. That's the one that's going to be coming out very soon. Tell me a little bit about it. What can fans expect on this?
It's 12 songs. It's a little bit more pop, a little bit more dancey than some of my older stuff that people might know. But I think I worked really hard to try to make it very dynamic and very, very stirring, very moving. And there's something compelling to me as an artist about kind of putting myself in the box, so to speak, because it kind of it kind of tends to make you think outside of it once you're in it, and it's like it sounds kind of counterintuitive, but yeah, just try to make things very fresh and very new. With still be, I tend to sort of lyrically write music that might be a little bit hard to relate to in the past, just because it's like this weird guy singing about the stuff in his head, you know. So this new record is kind of a departure, singing about things that maybe people might be able to better relate to.
Is that hard to do? Because again, when you were talking about your music, it was always this kind of fantasy that you built around your music. It was really like getting into your head. So how was that to separate that to really thinking about, okay, let's get the people up and dancing?
It's a tricky thing, and it's in some ways, you know, singing about having a good time in 3.5 minutes is a lot trickier, as soft as the concept is, than singing about, you know, whatever pops into my head. You know, in the past, I'd always written songs, you know, whatever, you know, was the first thing on my mind, I just put down on the page and made work in the song. And so now that it's like, well, how do I write something that anybody can sing, and, you know, instead of just one guy can sing and mean it from the heart? How do I do that? So it meant a lot of writing and rewriting and you know, revising and stuff. But it's just like a new frontier for me. And I think ultimately it's just about trying new things. That's what art is to me in music. It's just about creating new things and experimenting.
Well, you know, up here in Canada, Carly Rae Jepsen, one of the hottest artists going out there right now. She's on your album?
She is, yeah. I can't believe it all came together, and she was so gracious enough to lend her talent, yeah.
How did that all work? I mean, was this before everything started exploding for her, or afterwards? How did you get her, and what was it like working with her?
It was kind of a dream come true for me. I think we'd reached out to her a few months back, before she'd gone to #1, and I can't believe the timing is all worked out like the way it has, but our managers had known each other, and they put us together, and she loved the track that I'd produced, and was kind enough to lend her talent. It was great.
Other collaborations on the album?
Mark Hoppus from Blink-182 is on a track of mine called Dementia, and I've been a huge fan of Blink forever, so that's a huge honor too. I still can't believe it's you know, the guy that I know his voice so well. You know, I can't believe he's on my track. It's great.
Any chance that you're going to be doing some movie scores? Because I know you and I talked about this over the phone in the past, and I just think your music has been used in TV shows and movies and stuff, but would you like to sit down, have somebody bring a movie to you and say, okay, let's see what you can do with this?
If it's a movie that inspires me to sit down and create up a storm, yeah. I mean, it's got to be the right movie, of course, you know. But I would love to do that. So
tour-wise, what's going to happen? Like I said, we know you're performing here tonight, but what about the rest of Canada and around the world?
I think this might be our only Canada date. I think we're doing Vancouver later on in the year, but touring is kind of the main priority. I've been in the studio for the last 6 months or so it's good to shift gears. It's like a whole new lifestyle when you get on the bus and you start going and playing shows every night, but I love it. I really do.
Can you sit in one spot? Like, seriously, can you just, like, sit, chill? Because you seem like the type of guy who has to always keep recording, has to always keep creating. It's like in your blood.
Yeah, it is. I mean, 2 weeks into any tour, I'm always, like, kind of waiting for the day off where I can fly home and get back in the studio and just do something, you know? So there's this thing where I'm always buying, like, new studio gear, and I never have anything written to record, you know, through, like if I buy a new piece of gear, I think, oh, I have to record through this, but I have nothing to record, so I have to write a song in order to do that, and it's like, it just keeps fueling the fire. So
wow.
Yeah.
And before we wrap this up, anybody that you do want to work with that you haven't had a chance to, I mean, you got Carly Rae down there, which is fantastic, but anybody else you want to work with?
Enya, actually. I'm a huge fan of Enya. I have been for years, and it's kind of an unlikely collaboration, but it'd be amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, because you know what? I think no matter who you work with, you're going to always make it work, my friend. Thank you so much for this interview.
Thank you very much.
Cool.
Yeah.
You guys are all okay with that?
Awesome. It was great.
Beautiful. Actually, if you can keep rolling with that, if
okay.
I could get you to liners. If I can get you to liners here, 680 News. Cool.
Hey, what's up? This is Adam Young from Owl City, and you're listening to Toronto's #1 all-news radio station, 680 News. Hey, it's Adam from Owl City. Happy holidays from Toronto's #1 all-news radio station, 680 News. Hey, this is Adam Young from Owl City. Happy Valentine's Day from Toronto's #1 all-news radio station, 680 News.
Beautiful, man. Friend, quick picture, and we will be out of your way.
All good.